about 1,400 years too late. Men have massaged your mind into thinking that your private parts are your only assets of power. Please tell me again how you represent the elevated of society, savagely equivalent to a human being being skinned, devoid of morality. Even Adam and Eve had the sense to use leaves when their nakedness became apparent. So why do you connect nakedness with freedom? Well, tell me how oppressed Blessed Mary was, the mother of Jesus. Some of you refer to her as the very mother of the God that you worship. Yet Mary only exposed her face and her hands, wearing long dress and veil on her head. So you preach that your body is yours. Okay, well then tell me how you created it. How, if it stopped functioning right now, you could create another one. As the creation of God, I am very smart enough to know that my Creator bears the patent. I am not covering because of a man. It is beneath me to do so. I am using my free will to worship my Creator, and I'm very content in this decision. How unhappily dissatisfied are you that you use your 8 cups of white colonial racist feminist rhetoric to try to come and save my brown covered and trapped, uneducated, oppressed Muslim women? Well, you can keep those stereotypes along with your white entitlement. Take the cape around your neck and use it to cover up your chest. The only thing I need to get off my chest are these words. I cover up my body because my mind is forever the first thing that you will see. I am not down with the propaganda that is making men rich, free to use your breasts and your butts to sell anything from liquor to sandwiches. What makes you any better than them, oh femin? So you expose your boobies and represent the sweet freedom that we're missing out on? I am yawning. I am not impressed by your exploitation. You look at me like a slave. Men have got you twisted. When was the last time a group of men went running through the streets topless to prove their liberation? The free thinkers laugh at you. You really bought into the male ideology oppressing you that says nakedness is connected to freedom. Well, sorry, femin, you're just naked slaves of man. As a Muslim hijabi woman, my mind will always hit you before my body ever will. I don't cover beautiful breasts out of shame. I cover beautiful breasts out of dignity. So perhaps I can teach you something through liberation with this pen. Femin, I have already tasted my freedom, and I will never need you to come save me. So go ahead and put on a damn shirt. All right, so any questions, comments, observations? All right, so talking about media, and I told you I was a social media consultant. I wrote this piece called Media, capital M-E-D-I-A, right? How many people have social media? Twitter, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. What else we got? Instagram. And the issue is today, we are not in touch with one another or connecting with one another because we're so into me. Selfies. This is the selfie girl, right? It's all about me. So I wrote this wordplay piece called Media in the voice of the internet. So it's a personification piece. So I will magically become the internet for a couple minutes. And I will do this piece called Media for you guys, okay? All right, Media. As soon as I remember the first one. Oh, here we go, Media. In a gigabyte world, we are all hardwired hard drive without any software. No I care, just YouTube. There is only room to boo-boo. Google over myself today, please. Like me, selfie, self-worth questionable. I see my value only when you appraise me. So praise me, Google plus, email, blasphemy. Be in my circle, holy, Insta, more valuable than scroll, replacing scripture. Get the picture, if not upload with virtual confidence. Consequence, no virtues or common sense. In a popularity contest, a rat race, no one sees the rat, just the cheese. So we pet the dog, forget the fleas. That's why a holy man can say, you'll never see me in the strip club, because we don't love them hoes, but we just like their twerk videos. Real life versus screen life, behind the scenes. hop on anything that's hot. It's not exactly about doing it. You just gotta be next to it or in front of it, adjacent to the work, never chasing the work, so y'all gon' get this work. Hashtag, buy into my image, price tag. I am not social butterfly, I am social media, Wikipedia inaccurate, birth of internet immaculate. That's why you actually believe it's never been touched, never been touched. Extra virgin, your version, not in touch with reality. What you see is not what you get. Take the filter off the picture, Control, Alt, Delete, Reset. Autocorrect can't fix this. Awkward state again. We do it now just to be seen. We see it now because we don't do. The voyeurs and the exhibitionists trying to see who impressed who. Narcissism.com.net got caught up in our own vanity. Click, click, scroll, like, retweet, just to keep up with our own sanity. Why you don't know your neighbor's name, you can fall in love with a screen. We don't imagine anymore because we just download a dream. Plugged in, unable to detach from the hardware that they're feeding you. We're too commercial to even care because we're the new slaves of social media. Oh, yes. So I want to also talk about race. So, media consultant, a woman, talk about that. Oh, no. Last thing before I go, talking about race, I want to talk about gender, talk about women. I had to do this poem for women. I did it last night, but I'm going to do it again today. So, this is a poem, which is a conversation between two women. And so I do a lot of mentoring for women and girls, 12 to 18 is where I focus. And just kind of like giving them a sense of dignity and pride about being who they are. So this particular poem is a classic. It's a conversation between two women. One woman is talking to the other one. And so it has a little hip hop or whatever. So I can do a couple bars. All right, so it's a conversation. It's the younger woman. And she goes, so he says he wants to increase me. Blue collar police me, lease me, 3 to 5 years to abuse me and confuse me. Oppress me, never caress me, just roughly use me profusely. Designer dress me, tennis bracelet me, Gucci, Fendi, chain around my neck and pet me. Objectify me, trophy, wife me, wifey, but never wife me or whole life me. He says he does a favor to increase me. Joe Jackson beat me, beat it up and mistreat me, head to concrete defeat me. Black eye me and justify me, black and blue me to school me. Broken jaws to overrule me because he says I'm too unruly. So she said, Queen, where's the dignity in begging with your body to enter a man's mind? Listen to the question, Queen, where's the dignity in begging with your body so you can enter a man's mind? Women have been reduced from the ultimate lows, from models to video hosts to strippers with no clothes, to sexy singers who can't blow notes except behind closed doors. But we embrace that word meaning female dog on all fours. It's ridiculous to win awards for faking orgasms on Sex in the City, and Halle Berry didn't win an Oscar till she showed off her body. Men used to write love ballads. Now they don't practice this. Now they dedicate 4 minutes on a track to your gluteus maximus. Oh, to the tail feather, the salt shaker, the apple bottom and the rump, and you can bump, 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 shake it fast, go back that thing up. How can you let a man debase you, use you as a portal of sin? You can't meet his parents, but you can meet him at the hotel or Holiday Inn. Ladies, to seduce a man, it's not entirely hard. But after he drinks that milkshake, will that boy still stay in the yard? What you got to offer, Ma, besides your physical flesh? You got any home training and education? Have you reached your spiritual best? Realize that you're blessed and stop using your sex for success. Brainwashed by a society which thinks modesty means you're oppressed. Aspire for more than runway meet or porn star to a higher state of femininity. Gain faith in God, esteem in yourself, and get back your dignity. So I repeat, where's the dignity in begging with your body to enter a man's home? All right. So talking race. All right, so this week, anybody know what the vital anniversary dates that happened this week? Anybody? Nobody? All right, anybody know Trayvon Martin? You know, the anniversary of his death was this week. There was also another anniversary. Anybody can give it to me? Somebody, please. Thank you. Can you?
It was the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Malcolm X.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Please definitely study Malcolm X. Put that on the list of people. Because society wants you to believe that Malcolm X was just a violent man. And that's all he taught. So this is something that they famously don't want to talk about. But there's a quote that says, we can't know where we're going, right? Until we know where we've been, correct? Knowing our lineage and our history. So this is a new piece. It's going to be on my album, but it's new. And I have to keep re-recording it. Why? Because black men keep getting killed. So I have to keep adding names. So there's a problem with that. But this is kind of like a piece where I basically travel and do a little history, a little black history into where we are today. And it's called lineage. My twin is Moses, bassinet capsizing, drowning, becoming the Nile's princess daughter, a wind gust away from having a pharaoh as a father, unwrapped mummy, lost daughter of Belial, inheriting the voice of a caller. They buried me in the sands of Medina, baby girl, learning to swallow sand and drowning my words they unearthed me, in the cotton fields of the South, being taught to read illegal words my daddy scribed. Young toddler of Frederick, Harriet had fed me gunpowder pride and sweet milk from her bosom, carved and drink the symbols on the soles of my feet. The dogs sift my royal scent and sacrifice me to the river. I washed up on the banks of Alabama, missed the bus Rosa was on by a minute. Babylon is a place in a hymn my mother sang about, where men escaped a lyncher's rope, but I couldn't escape. The air filled with dynamite and smoke. They found me in the rubble, one of 4 little girls unrealized, and knowing death's purpose all too well. As my father held an AK looking out the window, I can hear his muffled sound to this day. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Falling, falling, get your hand out my pocket, get your hand out my pocket. She couldn't hold me and hold her husband, our blood mixing on the Audubon, a 7th daughter interrupted. Please tell me, how many times must I die in a pool of my own melanin? Call Huey, Angela, and H-Rap to avenge me. They keep asking me, are you ready to die from this? Are you learning from your ancestors, or are our murderers our greatest teachers? Emmett Till's killers drop mixtapes every season. Remix how many ways to die? Kill my father, kill my sons, leave me no husband. Bensonhurst and Watts are still burning. I cannot find my parents. I am tired of being orphaned. Tell me how many times must they die in a pool of their own melanin? We are a people lost and found. We will stay lost until we're found. So please tell Amadou, I have his wallet. Sean Bell, his wedding day. Oscar Grant's daughter, I have her childhood as a daddy's girl. I wear Trayvon and Michael Brown's graduation cap with pride. I breathe again so Eric Gardner can. We are a people lost and found. Dear Nina, send me to my home going in the voice of peaches. No watered down mass or dying in vain. Please ring the alarm. Sound the trumpet of Israfil. It's time to wake up these orphans. Let them rise from their slumber and reconnect with their lineage. Ooh. This is emotional because I always think about my sons. And it's very, very true. And okay, so this is the last thing I wanted to say before I close out, and that is my mother. One of the things and why I'm so connected to us all, kind of like learning and being with each other, blackness and really be okay with that. But then my mother didn't just buy a black doll, she bought a white doll. And she bought this white doll and the black doll, she put them together and she said they are meant to play together and learn from each other. So she did that when I was little. So I've always had friends of multiple ethnicities ever since I was little because that's what I was taught. So one of the things I want to put out there with you guys is learn from the people around you, even though they're different or even though you don't want to be like them. It is an education step we grow as people. And I'd like to thank you so much for listening to me, listening to my art. And I do have CDs, I have books if you guys want these books, so please come see me after this. Thank you, peace.
I'd like to thank Najmah for coming to the point for us. Everyone give her a round of applause. Give back from education. Now, lunch is served. Like I said, I prefer for the presenters, especially from out of town, to get their lunch first, and then after that, everyone.